let's just get started. First, tell us a little bit about yourself, whatever you want to share. Doesn't have to be anything specific. Anything you want to share.
Like weirdly nervous.
I know it's weird. Everyone's always like, what? It's so awkward, but then you'll be fine in a while.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Jennie-Christine. I am from Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, cool.
I'm having actually the gastric bypass tomorrow.
Are you? I know we were talking about it. Okay.
Yeah. I was originally gonna have the sleeve, but we'll get into that whole story, I'm sure, later on.
Sure.
Yeah. And I'm 28.
I'm 29.
Yay, there you go.
Hey, cool. So you're getting surgery tomorrow. How do you feel?
I
know. I was like, let me wait, let me record because I want to see her real reaction.
Right. Yeah. I've been trying not to think about it too much. And it helps that I had a full work day today. So I've been able to focus on other things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fully hit me yet. I'm not freaking out. I think when I'm physically in the hospital waiting, I'm going to be like,
what time? What time is your surgery?
I believe it's at 10:30, but they want me to be there at 8. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's so exciting though. So how long, what, are you, well, I mean, you don't have to tell me if you're paying out of pocket or surgery, but or insurance, did you have to do classes beforehand? Has there been a huge process before this or no?
So yes and no.
Okay.
It's actually an interesting story. So I'm actually fast-tracked through.
Okay, cool.
The system. So I did still have to do classes, but I just didn't have to wait as long. Most programs are 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
I was able to fast track it. So I did, I want to say it was less than 5 classes. It wasn't anything extreme.
Yeah.
And it was over Zoom because of the pandemic. So yeah. So that was that. And then it allowed me to bypass. They have a, what do you call it? Almost support group.
Mm-hmm.
They want, so in addition to the learning portion, they want, all the patients to get together, talk about why they're even getting the surgery, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was able to skip that part because of the pandemic, because obviously we can't have groups.
Yeah.
And they hadn't, I don't know if they're doing it on Zoom now, but at the point where I was going through, it was so early in the pandemic that they didn't know what they were going to do yet. So
I know a lot of people got their surgery dates pushed back when it all started. So many people I know or talk to were it's pushed back. I don't know when. I think they're now getting their surgery. So
yeah,
that's good. I'm glad that it was fast for you because man, with me, it was 6 months. And then after I have Kaiser, and then after we were the last 6 months class, and then it started now to 3 months. But I mean, I learned a lot. Do you feel like you learned from your classes or not?
Yeah,
really?
it definitely gave me, the very root basics that you kind of need to know as far as what to eat, what not to eat, portioning of plates, of course, the surgery itself, they always go over that, and directly after, but they talk long-term a little bit too. And then one of the things we had to do was a cooking class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but pandemic, so mine was just watching somebody cook.
Yeah.
But if there was no pandemic, they have almost a test kitchen in the hospital where you would go and learn how to make healthier meals and portion, very hands-on.
Cool. Yeah, we didn't have anything like that. I mean, it was just we got a folder. Oh, I don't have it in here. We got a binder of 6 months is a long time. We had to go once a week for 2 hours. So every single week it was a different topic or whatever. It was long. But it went by, now that I think about it, it went by so fast because I'm about to be 14 months post-op and I don't even know how that happened. I literally feel my husband was driving me down to the hospital to get it. It's so crazy. Because I know when you're going through the process, you're just oh my gosh, I need to do it. Mm-hmm. And then it goes by so fast.
Good. I hope so.
I'm so excited for you though. So I know we talked and you were asking VSG or bypass. And I told you, my doctor wanted me to do bypass too. And the reason he told me, and I know that you have more of a story, so I'm excited to hear it. But with my doctor, the only reason he wanted me to do it was because he said, I have a lot of weight to lose. And with the bypass, you lose more weight, right? Mm-hmm. According to statistics versus the gastric sleeve. he was guessing like 80 pounds for me. And I lost 140. So, and it was, I think it was because of working out and stuff, you know? So I remember going to the appointment, he was like, okay, like, yeah, I mean, I think you made the right decision, you know? So like for you, I know it's way deeper than just like losing the weight. So like, why does he want you to do the bypass versus the sleeve?
So of course his, you know, reasoning started off similar to yours.
Yeah.
Like, you'll lose more weight, statistically more patients keep it off for longer, if not forever, with the bypass, all those things that you've also heard. In addition to that, I have idiopathic intracranial hypertension.
Okay, and I was watching your video. So you guys, if you're watching, she has a YouTube video too, and I'm gonna link it because I was watching it earlier today, and I was like, "What is that?" Like you were saying, it's so perfect, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I would trash that." So what is that like in simple terms?
In simple terms, basically, too much fluid accumulates around my brain, causing pressure both on my brain and on the optic nerves in my eyes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it started, as you saw in the video, it started out kind of like a really bad headache, like almost similar to like the worst hangover of your life.
Yeah.
I didn't drink, so I'm like, what is going on? Yeah. And, you know, when I brought it to the doctors, of course, that's what they think. They think like, oh, you just have migraines. We'll give you like a super strong migraine medicine. You'll be fine. That was not the case. And I had to go through a whole bunch of appointments as far as, because it started Memorial Day weekend. That's the other thing. So it was off hours. So I was like doing telehealth appointments with like people that weren't my primary doctor and didn't know me very well. It's like, maybe it's a headache.
Right now, I feel like it's so hard. Like I have my primary doctor, and I don't know over there, but like she's not even seeing anyone in person. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I had like a weird bump. I was like sick, and it was like a swollen lymph node or whatever. And I was freaking out because I was like, what is that? And she's on the phone like, oh, can you feel here and can you feel there? And I'm like, I'm not a doctor. Like, what if it is something serious? And like, I don't know because you guys don't see us. But it's weird. Right. Like, I have braces and I go into my ortho, like, and I'm not wearing a mask, obviously. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird. How is it over there? You guys?
It's like, I think a doctor by doctor.
Depends,
like, yeah. Because my primary, I still haven't seen her this whole time. Whereas, you know, I had to, so again, part of the condition is issues with your vision, because, you know, if things go completely wrong and like I didn't catch it when I did, I could potentially go blind from this.
Scary.
So that doctor, same thing, similar to your teeth, they're all in your face, but I am seeing him in person. Like you can't do a telehealth of that.
Oh, exactly.
So it's just kind of like what they can do, they'll do virtually. But if you absolutely must come in, then you go in for them. Yeah.
That's crazy. So the weight, how does the weight affect, does that have an effect to what's happening?
Yes, that's what I was told, at least. That was a main contributor. It's not the only reason that this can come about, but in my specific case, they were like, that is more than likely exactly what happened. Because, you know, one of the first question was, have you recently gained a lot of weight? And over the stretch of quarantine.
So you gained 25, you said?
Yeah, 25 pounds, because, you know.
It's been tough. It's been crazy since March. How is it over there? How are the restrictions in Boston?
They're locked down. Like right now, people are starting to come back out, but they were very strict, hard and fast from the beginning. Like the city completely shut down.
Yeah, I'm in California, and it's the same. Like I'm about an hour from San Diego and an hour from LA County. I'm in the middle. It's like Riverside County, and we can go to restaurants, but it's only outside. You can't eat inside. San Diego opened up a little bit more, but I work in San Diego County. I work with school, like at a school, and we're trying to figure out when we're gonna go back, but it's like rumored that we're gonna go back on the watch list. So when that happens, schools aren't gonna open at all. Are schools open over there?
It's by district. So they're leaving it up to each school district.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A lot of them seem to be doing like a hybrid, or, you know, leaving it up to the parents. So it's like you have the option, but this is the capacity.
Yeah.
So, and you have to like sign up ahead of time. Like, I plan to be in person or whatever. I know my little brother's in high school and he chose to stay home, but then the absolute youngest chose to go physically to school. So
It's hard for them because I have a brother in high school too, and I have one in middle school, and it's been tough, man. Like, I think more like just mentally, you know what I mean? Like, just you're home and it's just hard.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a whole other thing, you know?
Yeah. He's
But
just scared more than anything.
I know, it's so weird. So with the restrictions for surgery, do you have to be alone?
I'm allowed one person, one
Okay,
visitor over
that's
the
good.
course of my 2 days.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
my mom is gonna come with me.
that's good because I know a couple that like they allowed no one at all
Wow,
for the surgery. Yeah, and they had to stay there for the like by themselves for the couple of days that you were there. Yeah.
that's terrible. No, I had to go get a COVID test this morning, of course, because
I've gotten it. It was at the nose one, right?
yeah,
Did they do both nostrils or one?
just one.
Yeah, the
You
first
had to
time
do both?
I had to do it twice because I got like I had allergies one time and then one time I had like a cold. They came back negative twice.
Mhm.
But the first time they did both
Mm,
and then the second time they did one. And I was like, it was horrible. It was
terrible. I never get used to it.
heck no. Like there's people that like I follow some like actresses and stuff and you know they're going back to work and stuff and they have to get tested like on a daily basis or like baseball players or football players they're getting tested like every day like that
I'd
sucks.
be like, you know what? It's fine.
That's
Next season.
sucks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, there was this lady there this morning that was cracking me up because she was like about to cry. And it's like a grown lady, like I want to say 50s or 60s.
That's so funny.
And
I
I'm like, it's
know.
okay, it's gonna be so quick. And she's like, oh my God.
My husband went with me because we both work with kids. So like if one is sick, the other one has to get tested, whatever. And
Mhm.
with him, like he starts laughing. Like and I made him do it in front like before me. And he
Mhm.
started laughing and I'm like, what? Like, what are you doing? And he was like, it just tickles a lot. But like I was like, what the heck? That was weird.
No.
It's like everyone reacts different. And to me, I just like didn't move. Because then they tell you like don't move because then it can hurt. And I'm like,
Yeah, no, for me it hurts regardless. I'm just like, hurry up, please.
yeah. So I'm excited. So what do you have in your bag to go? Everyone's always like, what do I take to the hospital? What are you taking? Are you packed already or no?
I am not.
That was me. That was me. Don't worry. Because other people are like, I did it like a week before. And I'm like, why? I literally the night before, I was just like, I don't even know what I need. What
Yeah,
do I need?
just because, you know, they keep stressing to me. I don't know if your hospital did, but they kept stressing like, don't bring that much, like only what you absolutely need and leave it at that.
Yeah.
So I'm literally gonna bring, you know, quarantine clothes, like sweats,
Yeah.
my
That's all you need.
toothbrush.
Because they're gonna give you like the gown, but I didn't wear the gown like the first day I did because I was like really nauseous and stuff. But like other than that, I changed right away, and then I took like a coloring book. I love like like the adult coloring books,
Yeah,
coloring book, and then like a laptop to like watch movies or whatever. You don't need
yeah.
a lot of stuff.
I've been thinking about that. I don't know. I didn't know if I was gonna bring my laptop or not, but I guess
Yeah,
I'm
but I'm gonna be completely real with you. You're not even gonna really want to watch it in the beginning, the first couple of days.
okay.
I was kind of out of it, and I'm sure you watched plenty of videos of it. But
Mhm.
like with me, and it's so different for everyone. And I don't want to say things to scare you because everyone has a different experience. You know what I mean? Like I've talked to people that they're literally like, I woke up and I was fine and I went walking because they make you walk because of
Yeah,
gastric.
yeah.
And then there's people like me that woke up super nauseous, but I just don't react good to like when you're put under. Like when I got my ACL, I've gotten a couple surgeries and I always wake up just super nauseous.
Yeah.
Um, but it's fast. How long did he say that the surgery does he estimate? Did he say?
I feel like he said maybe like 2 or 3 hours. I don't know if
Like
that's
2 hours.
standard,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, like 2 hours.
yeah.
Um, it's so fast. It's just like the waking up part is longer, you know? Like mine was 45 minutes. Mine was super fast. And it was so funny because my husband like waited for me to get rolled back. And then he went to go have breakfast like with my grandma and stuff. And he's like, we sat down and they called me and they're like, okay, she's done. But like don't rush back because I'm just telling you she's done and it went good. but she's gonna take a couple hours to wake up. Like that's what takes longer, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I feel like I do better. Like I do fine with anesthesia, so I just feel like
That's
I'm gonna
good.
be knocked out and like comfy.
Yeah,
That's at least what I have in my mind.
that's really good. I'm so excited for you though. Like it's gonna be the start of what are you nervous about? Are you nervous about specific things?
Um, I don't have any idea how I'm gonna feel after, of course. You know, there's no way for me to know that.
Exactly.
And I'm worried that the fact that I'm so like whatever is gonna like come back to bite me later because it's like
I think
crap.
that's better though. I think that's actually better because like with me, I'm such a planner and I remember watching so many videos and like reading so many things and you hear when you watch videos and when you read, I feel like you focus more on the negative, right? Like that's just me. I don't know. And I remember like just stressing myself out and I wish I would have gone into it kind of like whatever, like we'll see what happens, you know, because every single person, like I have people on this like podcast every week and every single person's experience is different. Everyone, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I love doing these and they don't get old because everyone shares and I'm like, oh my gosh, that happened, or like that's how you felt, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've had a couple people that got the bypass too, versus the sleeve. So
Yeah. I think the things that I'm most concerned about with the bypass is like the after stuff that I guess both deal with, but like one that's more so on the bypass side, the dumping thing. I'm not. I
no,
really
no.
hope that it's not the case. I know that like you said, everybody's different and not everybody gets it that bad. And I'm hoping I'm one of those people because like that was one of the reasons I was leaning more sleeve.
I
Because
know
it's
the
just
numbers, the statistics show, that the bypass, it's more of a chance to get dumping.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, for my specific situation, like because I was watching, I wish I could remember her name, but there was another like older woman I found on YouTube who got the bypass and she was saying that um she chose it because she wanted the dumping syndrome, kind of like an internal alarm type of thing. And I didn't feel like I needed that. I don't know if that's like me getting ahead of myself, but like I didn't feel like I needed that. And it's just like I don't know, with this whole situation, it's like I'm not getting this because I woke up one day and I was just like, oh, like I need weight loss. Like I was watching you and Amber last night actually, and how you were talking about how you were like, no, I was one of those people that was like, I'll never get weight loss surgery.
Yes, I
Like,
so was. I'm so annoying, but I definitely was.
and that was me too. Like I was just like, if anything, like if
I
I
feel like
get,
because it's just looked like people just look down on it, you know, and it's kind of like it's the easy way out, and like that's everyone's mindset. And if you don't do your research, it's very like it's understandable why you think like that, right?
yeah,
But yeah, I definitely thought like that, and Amber did too. She was like, "Me too," you know. And when I
yeah,
say that to people, a lot of people think like that. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, because it's just like too like I don't remember a time in my life ever being skinny or slim or anything. So I don't know what this is about to look like. And
Yeah,
like I'm
it's weird.
personally
I'm telling you,
comfortable.
it's weird because like I was 304 pounds. I was heavy. I'm 5'4". How tall are you?
5'5", 5'6".
Yeah, I'm 5'4", and I was 304 pounds. And it's crazy because I didn't weigh myself for so long. And I remember I mean, because I got married at 18, I got married really young and I was heavier still. Like I was 200 and to 215. I would never see, for some reason, I could never get down into the hundreds. It was always like 200 to 215, 200 to 215. Like I would never let myself get more than 215, but I would weigh myself weekly. And then I don't know what it was, and I stopped weighing myself, and years passed, and I hit 304. And I remember when I got on the scale, it was when I started my classes, and I was like, wait, what? Like I
Yeah.
saw the 3. For some reason, if I was 299.9, I would have felt better. Right?
Fine.
I would be like, whatever, I'm 200.
Yeah.
You know, like when you buy something that's $9.99, it's not $10.
Right, right.
I'm always like, I pointed over there because he's back there, but I was like, I would say, I'm like, yeah, babe, something's $9, and then he's like, dude, are you kidding? Like, it's $9.99. I'm like, no, it's $9. You know, it sounds better, whatever. But yeah, like I don't know. it's so weird. I don't know. It's just, I look at myself sometimes and it's so weird because they would tell you like your mind just plays tricks on you. There's sometimes I wake up and I feel fat. I feel humongous. And then I like look at an old picture and I'm like, dude, you're so annoying. Like, shut up, you know, because I would, yeah, if 304 Paulina would be like listening to things that are going in my mind, it wouldn't make sense. She would be like, you know, like I weigh 160 pounds. I don't even know when I ever weighed that. It's insane to me. It blows my mind when I say that out loud. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But there's days where I'm so hard on myself. Like I posted a post a while back where I said, I remember at 304 pounds, I used to like, when I was going somewhere, I would put clothes on, take something off, and until I could find the outfit, right? So I would have a pile of clothes like on the floor. And it's crazy because now I do that again. I'm starting to do that again because of my loose skin. So now it's like, it's my stomach. My arms aren't bad. They're not like, okay. My legs aren't bad. It's my stomach. I always carried my weight on my stomach. So, you know, like there's things where I'm like 160 pounds. When I envision 160 pounds, I envisioned it so much different where I'm like, oh, am I going to be able to wear like a crop top? Like, am I going to, no. I mean, I could if I really was like, whatever, YOLO, you know, but no, it's not happening. So yeah, so I still do it now and it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like all in your mind. It's so weird.
It's crazy. I don't know, because like that's another reason why I kind of gravitated towards your content, because I don't remember what video specifically, but I remember there was a point where you were talking about the person you were at 304, because you know people always try to throw that in your face, like, oh, you changed and like this, that, third, and how you were like, you know, confident, social, all those things, and I feel like I am that as well. And I don't mind being my size. Like I truly am. Like, let me say this. When I made this decision to do it, it truly was only because of my condition. I think now that I've come to terms with the fact that like this is something that I have to do, I've found other reasons that I'm like, all right, that's about it.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. I know, because people that don't know me, they think that like I'm so loud, I'm so outgoing, I'm like that. And people are like, people that don't know me and then like find out, because I'm not, it's not a secret. Like when someone that does know me and they see me and they're like, oh my gosh, she lost so much weight, I tell them what I did. And then like someone will overhear, you know, and then they'll kind of be like, oh, like that's why she's so loud. Like I'm not obnoxious, but I'm just outgoing. Like that's just how I am. And people are like, oh, it's because you lost weight. It's like, no, dude, it's not. I've always been like that. And like you said, it's cool because there's people that were really in their shell and then they come out, which is amazing. But then we have to remember the people that were already like that. And this is just health. Like mine was health too. I wasn't diabetic, but I was pre-diabetic. My doctor straight up told me, you would be getting on meds right now if I wasn't doing your surgery. And that terrified me. And there's no diabetes in my family. There's no one in my family. Like my parents are normal weight. And so I was like, dude, I'm going to be the start of this. Like I don't have kids yet. And I'm not going to be the start of like obesity. You know what I mean? Like it was scary. It's a scary thought. And I remember I used to always be like, whatever, I'm big, but whatever. Like I could do my makeup cute or my hair cute. You know, that's how I was. Like that was my mentality.
Yeah.
And then I would always like, oh, well, I've always been big. I'm meant to be big, you know? But then like when my doctors would show me numbers and they were like, you're young right now, but when you're 40, when you're 50, when you're you're not going to feel like you do right now, you know? So yeah, it's
for me, it was always like a swing. So it was like, again, I was never thin, never skinny, but you know, I don't know. I was always chunky and overweight and it would swing. And just as much as I could lose a few, I'd gain it all back and then some. So then the swing would be here and you lose a few and then you get it all back and then some. And so it just continued and continued. And it never became like super serious until I found out I also have PCOS.
Okay.
And that was around the age of, I want to say like 22, 23.
My sister has that.
Yeah,
she struggles with fertility and stuff. She's been trying to get pregnant for a while now. But yeah, PCOS. I know I thought I had that too because I didn't have my period for like 3 years. And my doctor did testing and she was like, you don't have PCOS. She's like, I really think it's your weight. And what's insane is that 3 months after my surgery, I've had my period every single month, and never in my life have I had my period every single month, ever. Like, ever. It's been like, when I first got it, it was like every 3 months and stuff. And then they would tell me, oh, it's because you play sports. Because I played soccer. Oh, it's because you play sports. It's normal. And I'm like, no, it's not. Now that I get it every single month on the dot, I'm like, dude, that's crazy. Your body it's insane, you know?
Yeah.
So with PCOS, what do you struggle with? What are your symptoms, I guess? I don't know if that's the right term.
So same thing, irregular periods. To be honest with you, at this point, because of the head situation, I had to come off of my birth control, which is what was regulating it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you the last time I've had a period.
Yeah.
To be honest, at this current moment.
That was me.
In addition, that I'm personally dealing with, I'm noticing some hair loss, which I'm not loving. And then to be going into this situation, that's a symptom of that as well. I'm like, oh God. So I hope it slows, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, I got it, my hair loss, around 4 months, 4 to 5 months. And I just like try not to, because I used to wash my hair every single day, and then I was like, no, I need to wash it like every 3 days. Like, I was trying to skip. And I started using like a specific shampoo, and I don't know if that helped me or not, but mine stopped. But yeah, I hear people that lose their hair for months. It's just, honestly, like, what I can say and what a doctor will tell you, because I remember I was telling my doctor, he was like, you need to meet your protein goal, because protein is what helps you not lose hair. You're still gonna lose hair, but meeting your protein goals and taking your vitamins, you know. And like, I always tell people, because I'll ask them, because I'll get messages about that, and I'm like, what's your how much protein are you eating, and are you taking your vitamins? And then they'll be like, yes and yes. But like, most of the time I feel like they're not being honest, because yeah, you're gonna lose hair, but your vitamins, like, we literally physically cannot meet protein goals and our nutrition through our food. There's no possible way. Even right now at 13 months post-op, I can't eat all the veggies, all the fruit, all the whatever, you know. Right. Without your vitamins, it's like when I don't take my vitamins, I legit feel like I'm gonna pass out. And there's people that don't feel like that, and then they get their blood work and everything is so out of whack, you know. And it's so easy to get lazy. It's so easy to get lazy and just be like, whatever. I've done it for like a week one time. And then I was like, what am I doing? Like, if I do it for a week, I'm going to continue this horrible habit, you know?
Yeah.
But don't let that be that reason. I know there's people that literally will not get the surgery because of the hair loss fear.
No, I'm weighing everything right now against my vision. That's what I keep asking myself. Is like, do you want hair or do you want to be able to see?
Exactly. That's great. Is that something, does anyone in your family have that? Or is that it's just, I know that you said that it's very rare, right?
Yeah. It is very rare. No one in my family has it. People in my family suffer from, like, migraines and are on migraine medicine. But nothing like this.
And when did you notice it? You said Memorial Day. So this year was the first, is when you know.
Yeah, all of this literally started June 1st to now was the turnaround of finding out about it.
Wow.
Narrowing down exactly what it was, figuring out how to treat it, and then figuring out what to do to not make it worse or go backwards.
Wow, so it was fast. Everything happened pretty fast.
I was like in crisis mode.
Yeah, but I'm so happy it worked out, because they could have been like, sorry, you're on the waiting list, you know, like so many other people. Like, there's so many other people. Yeah. I forget what country it was. Someone wrote on my Instagram on my YouTube video. I forget what country was it. But it was like years waiting, like multiple. Like, she was like laughing. She was like, LOL, like, I watch a lot of people that are like in America, and like they talk about waiting 6 months, 4 months. She's like, we have to wait like 2 years. And I don't remember. I'll have to look at it again. But I was like, wow, that's insane.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't know if I could wait that long.
Yeah.
Just because of the situation. Like,
no.
It was so scary. Like, I'm not going to get too deep because I don't want to get emotional, but like,
for sure.
It, like, to basically not be able to see, like, to just be like, know what that feels like as a able-bodied person, you don't think about that. Like, of course you've seen a blind person before, there are people in the world that are blind, but you never stop to think about how they live their life. And to be forced in that situation, like, oh crap, like I don't know how to live this life. I'm not prepared for this. There is no way to prepare for this, is so scary and so devastating. Like I was literally sitting here and just like trying to watch TV, and I couldn't watch TV because I was seeing double.
Yeah.
And, another thing before it got to the worst part, like before I had decided to reach out to the doctors, I remember I was driving somewhere and I felt like I was driving drunk, but obviously I hadn't drank anything. But it's because I was that dizzy and my eyes were playing tricks on me. And I had to like triple focus just to like get home. But like just to think about that and to have them say like, while you're dealing with this and on this medication, like you can't drive, you can't be in the sun. Mind you, Memorial Day weekend, this is the beginning of summer. I did not go anywhere. Like this quarantine, even if coronavirus went away, I still had to be in the house.
So they're telling you right now to avoid sun and you can't drive. Okay. And then what did they tell you? Like, did they tell you an amount of weight that they believe will make a difference in the situation? No, it's just like you're going to continue getting tested or something.
Yeah. So that's how I came to the point of getting the surgery, because I was damn near begging this doctor, like, please, like if it's 5 to 10 or 20, I could do that myself. I felt like 50 or less, I can handle that. 50 or more, I might need some help, hence surgery. And she couldn't tell me. And even now, like earlier, a few days ago this week, I was looking it up again online to see if other people were given some kind of bracket amount of weight. And all the doctors that make, informational videos or other patients that tell their story, they all say the same thing. They're like, I wanted a number so bad and they couldn't give it to me. So
yeah, it's probably different for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like the surgery is, it's so different for everyone. They can't really tell you anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy that like it happened, that like everything happened fast. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you're going to lose weight with the surgery. You are going to, and the biggest thing that I can say is just like, it's work every single day. And what I think why I've lost so much weight and I've been able to stay focused is because I've truly learned to do it day by day. Because I remember, I think that's why I failed so much when I would try to lose weight, was because I would get overwhelmed thinking like, oh my gosh, I have to lose 100 pounds, 100 pounds. Like that's insane. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would get discouraged. I could lose 20 pounds. I could lose 30 pounds. And like you said, I'd gain it back and more. So then it got to the point where, with this, I lost my first 100 pounds by 5 months.
Wow. That's insane.
It's insane. If you don't mind me asking, what's your starting weight? What are you weighing right now?
So my highest weight when we first started conversations was 325.
Okay.
My current weight is 311.
Okay. So you're really close to what I was.
Yeah.
I was 304 and I'm 160 and I am 14 months post-op. And what I'm saying is like, don't compare either, because I know a lot of people, I get so many messages where people are like, cause I didn't stall. I never stalled until 10 months post-op. And it was when I hit my 160. And it's crazy. And people are like, how did you do it? And I tell them like what I did, but there's people that,
right? That was your goal, the 160, your initial goal?
Like I've like changed it. At first I said 150. And then when I started getting closer, like when I started losing more and more weight, I said 140, but I'm pretty content with what I am, because I feel like when I do get loose, my skin removed and stuff, I think it's going to weigh at least 10 pounds, 15 pounds, and I'll be at my goal. You know what I mean? Because there's sometimes where, like I told you, there's sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I'm fat. And then there's other times I look at a picture and I'm like, oh, you're too skinny. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like a collarbone. Like, what is this? Like my cheekbones, like, it's just crazy. I'm telling you, I look at myself sometimes and I forget. And then someone looks at me that I haven't seen in forever and they'll look at me like, and I'm like, what? Like, what? And then it clicks and I'm like, oh crap. You know what I mean? Because a year is a year. It's not that long.
Yeah.
So it happens really, really fast. But then when you think about it, it is long, but it's not. But like I said, I really think it's just focusing on one day. Did I meet my protein? Did I drink my water? Did I take my vitamins? All right, cool. Next day, you know, because when you think of a month, 2 months, it's too overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it goes, and it just happened. I know the first month, and to be honest with you, the first month for me was really hard. The first month and a half was really hard for me because I didn't have energy. And I remember feeling this. I remember feeling like that month was not going to end. You know what I mean? Like you were just kind of stuck. And I don't know if you saw my video where I talked about having to go back to the hospital. I had to go back to the hospital because I became dehydrated. So when you drink your water and you say, I can't,
you figure it out.
To figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
Like, straws, don't do straws. I didn't do straws till like, I don't even know, 7 months or something, because in the beginning it causes like air bubbles. Like it can cause your stomach to hurt. That's why they don't want you to do straws.
Okay.
But I just really, really followed what my doctor said, and I got really creative. Like in the beginning, like I was on a liquid diet for 6 weeks after surgery because I became dehydrated and he put me back.
Right.
And I followed it. People are like, did you really do that? Straight up on everything I love, I did it. 6 weeks I had to, and it's because I was terrified. My doctor traumatized me, but I'm glad because he literally said, this is a once in a lifetime. If you screw this up, then you do. And you can screw it up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
So let me ask you this. Was it difficult or hard to go through? You can choose whether or not to include the extra time that you had to be on the liquid diet, but that beginning part, because I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be difficult, but then that's my pre-op brain. So I'm wondering if like post-op, I'm not even going to want anything and I'm going to be fine.
Like food, like you mean like what? Like craving food, or what do you mean?
Yeah, because I know like it's a mental thing to like, I guess probably want food, but like, am I gonna like want it? Like, am I gonna be like starving? I guess is my question.
It's different for everyone. I really do. And just me speaking about it, I was so like, I was nauseous, like I told you, number one. And then you get so full off of a tiny little cup of water that for me, I wasn't like, I honestly, like the first couple months, I didn't crave anything. But like I said, I've talked to people that are craving a hamburger, you know, and you know, you can't eat it. So it just really, really depends. But with me, I feel like if you're on your liquids, you're going to be full. Like it's crazy because I remember drinking it and feeling like when I would eat a Big Mac and chicken nuggets and French fries, I would get that same feeling because off a little cup of water or Gatorade. Yeah. So it's just crazy. And I think it's your mind. It's the like mental hunger. Yeah. Because I used to cope with every emotion with food, right? And then you can't do that. So I feel like I've never been depressed. I haven't. And I really, now that I think about it, I think I was depressed that month after because I was not able to cope with how I was feeling with food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But was I hungry? No, I wasn't hungry. I know I wasn't hungry because when I would drink that water and then like I got creative. I lived off of zero Gatorades because I loved it and it gave you like you just felt better. Zero Gatorades, sugar-free popsicles because you kind of feel like it's considered a liquid. So you feel like you're chewing something. Do you guys have a Sonic over there?
There's very few. There's like 2 in the whole state.
Oh, really? Because like for this, I don't know if you know, but like the Sonic ice, it's like little balls of ice. Like my husband, because you can actually buy the bag of ice there. I don't know if you know that, but my husband went and bought me like 2 bags because I would get like ice like that and then add a little bit of water and then I would add like a Crystal Light, like the powder in it. So it was like, kind of like a slushy. Like I would get, like, I'm telling you, getting creative is key. You know what I mean? Because people think like liquid diet, oh, you're drinking water. Yeah, you are drinking water, but water equals water, Crystal Lights in your water, zero Gatorades, zero Powerades, there's 0 million things, you know, ice, popsicles. So when you think about it, you have a lot of things you can, and that's only temporary. If you follow and you do that, you're only going to do it for, usually doctors, it's like a week to 2 weeks after surgery.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know the timeline? Has he told you?
So my specific doctor, if I'm reading it correctly, it's going to be clear liquids, obviously, while I'm there.
Yeah.
But when I'm discharged, I'm allowed to have that and then the protein shakes as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So that's good. And it's going to be crazy because, like, again, it's the protein. And I don't know about your hospital, but they give us these tiny little cups. They probably will too. I forget what the measurement was. It was so tiny. I think it was like 2 ounces.
1 ounce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy those cups on Amazon and have them at home, because that I did the same thing I did in the hospital, and it really helped me to keep track, because my doctor wanted me to keep track of how much protein and stuff, you know. Now, like with the Premier Protein, I can drink that like nothing, like it's nobody's business. But in the beginning, it would take me hours and hours and hours. So with the way my doctor did it, I believe it was like within an hour, my goal was like 2 ounces of Premier Protein and then the rest of liquid, but I don't remember the amounts. But basically, it's going to feel like a full-time job. Like I remember are you planning to be off for a while for work, or what are you planning? Or what'd your doctor say?
They approved me for 6 weeks.
Okay.
But I know that people tend to go back earlier than that. So.
Yeah. Or later.
I
See, with me, so I work with kids. I don't know what kind of job do you do? Like, are you?
I'm an account manager for a telecom company.
Okay.
So on the computer and phone all day.
Yeah. So like my doctor, you know, he asked me, what do you do? And like, I work with kids. So like, I need 100% energy. Like I'm running everywhere. So I was off for 3 months, but that was because, again, I went back to the hospital because of my dehydration. So that put me back, right? So I was on liquid for 6 weeks. He was not going to send me to work on liquids. That's for sure. And then even when I did add protein shake or whatever, he was like, no. He's like, there's no way you can like function and like be energy, like have energy and stuff with like just a cup what you're eating. So I was able to be off longer, and I was really thankful for that, because it really allowed me to like plan and, you know, set my schedule and all of that. And that's another thing is setting a schedule, setting timers, all that stuff really, really, really helps. Yeah. I live off of timers and stuff even now. Like I have my multivitamins and stuff on a timer. I have like all these things on a timer because I know that I'm going to forget, you know. It's been a year. I'm in the routine, but still.
How do you map that out? Like, do you have an app for it, or do you just?
Yeah, I use the I always forget the name. It's a bariatric app. Where is it? I don't ever open it because it gives me all my alerts already. So it's like bariatric or something like that. It's purple. Where is it?
And that allows you to like plan out your like when you should start drinking before it's time to eat and all that, or is it just tracking?
Yeah, it has everything. So it knows, like, you know, with us, they don't want you to eat 30 minutes. I mean, they don't want you to drink. They want you to wait 30 and 30, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the rule. So even that, like, you can put a timer on there, whatever. And I'm going to tell you, I still follow that rule. I don't drink. I mean, the only time that I've drank, like, during my meal is if I, like, ate something spicy and I took a tiny sip. But what my doctor said is that it can re-stretch your stomach, right? Or it hurts. It hurts because you're filling up your stomach. So the way they explained it to me was, if you're filling up on liquids, you can't eat. And when you can't eat, you're already not able to eat a lot. So how are you going to meet your protein goals? How are you going to meet all that stuff? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. And then people ask me too, like, focusing on carbs and calories and all of that. We're eating so little in the beginning. Like now, I need to start tracking because I can eat, I don't want to say normal, but I can eat way more than I could I mean, it changes. I remember what I used to eat at 3 months to 6 months to 9 months to 12 months. It's drastic. Like, it's very drastic. I remember at 3 months, I was like, I'm never going to be able to eat again. Like, you know? I remember at 6 months, I couldn't finish a full protein bar. And now I can eat it so fast, which I shouldn't, because you're supposed to just, you know, eat slow. But yeah, it just happened so fast. And I say, and it's scary, but I can definitely see how people gain their weight back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm so afraid of that. I've already been like thinking about it, which I don't know if like that's even going to be helpful in the future, but I've kind of told myself, because like, I mean, obviously dropping about 15 pounds to get from 325 to 311. I had to obviously implement some changes there. So I know that, you know, in that little bit of weight that I needed to lose, like the zero method works for me best. Like instead of, you know, people say moderation, like moderation doesn't work for me. Like I just need to not have it at all.
Me too.
Because it's kind of like a slippery slope from there. So I'm hoping, my plan in my mind is that as I go through this and I get to the point of solids, I'll be able to continue to stay away from like rice, pasta, bread, and just make that my new normal of like a protein source and a veggie, and that's it.
And you'll be able to have bread, pasta, and bread. Wait, bread, pasta, and rice. You will, but then you find different things. So like for rice, and people are like, oh no, like cauliflower rice, I've found ways of making it like a fried rice. So you're adding like, you know, a scrambled egg to it. You're adding onion. You're adding, like, you're making it like that where, my husband likes it. You know, you just have to get creative. If you just buy plain cauliflower rice, it's disgusting, right? Bread, you can have bread again. Like people are like, I avoid bread, and I get it, to each their own, you know, but I buy like, I buy bread and I eat it, but I'll probably have bread once a week. Like if I'm like, oh, I'm craving a sandwich, I'm going to have my sandwich, you know? Or like, yeah, it's just moderation. Like pasta, I do like a protein pasta, but again, once a week. Like I used to really plan it where I would write it out and stuff, but now I'm kind of more like in my head, like, oh, did I have pasta this week? Okay, scratch that. Or like power bars, like protein bars. I love protein bars, but I can't have 2 a day. Protein bars are like, some of them are like 250 calories. So if I have 2 a day, that's 500 calories right there. So in my mind, I've learned that like, if I have a protein bar, then I should have some fruit, right? Or like yogurts. There's yogurts like the Chobani yogurts. They're like high in calories. So I can't have, in my head, I already know I can't have a protein bar and a yogurt because that's like 500 calories. Like you just, later on, you're going to start knowing, you know what I mean? Like what I should and shouldn't do. There's going to be days where you give in to the 2 protein bars. I've done it, you know, which is fine. But now too, like I think at 11 months post-op, I had my first regular slice of pizza. And it was crazy. And I don't know if you've heard or watched people where they say like one day, like let's say I was able to eat a full pizza because I have, and then another day I eat half of it and I want to like die. So it's like you feel, it can be the same exact thing, but on a different day, you just feel different. It's so weird. It's so weird. But the other day I definitely felt, I was like, oh, my restriction is still there because we went and had pizza and I was able to have like the crust. I started with the crust, which is probably the dumbest thing, right? But I really love crust. I had the crust and like a little bit of the pizza, and I was like, I felt like I ate like an entire box of pizza like I used to. I legit could kill an entire pizza, like the Little Caesars pizza. So it's just weird because some days I'm like, where's the restriction? And then other days I'm like, oh, there it is, you know?
Yeah. I'm interested to know what that feels like too. I know you probably can't explain it, but
restriction?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't explain it. It's just, it's so weird because I remember I used to think that like, what, listen to your body? What does that mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But literally, like, if you passed the I'm too full, it's when they say like you feel like someone's sitting on your chest, that's how you feel. And it's crazy because they say one more bite can lead you to getting sick. Absolutely. But I've never done that extra bite. It's just a weird like pressure feeling.
Okay.
That's what I feel. Like I know, and you're gonna know that tomorrow when you drink a cup of water and you're like, what the heck? What? You know? Like what? But yeah, it's a really, really weird, like it's hard to describe, like you said. But definitely it's like a pressure. And it's like, listen to that. Don't push it. You know what I mean? And I've never just, go ahead.
Do you feel the same like when you drink too much or too fast as well?
Yeah, I've never experienced dumping syndrome. But I've thrown up twice, and it was 1 because I drank water too fast in the beginning, and 2 was because I switched from a chewable multivitamin to one to swallow. And I went back to chewable. I still do chewable because I got so scared. I hate throwing up. So, but water, yeah, I drank too fast. Immediately I felt like it's gonna come up, and it was just water. There was no food. It was just water.
Yeah.
So they take like sips that, yeah. So I always have water with me and I'm sipping all day because that's how it was in the beginning. Cause when they said, oh, you can't chug like you used to be able to, I didn't really understand that until it happened. Right. And then I wouldn't have water next to me. And like, let's say I went to the store and I didn't drink for a whole hour, you're gonna feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've said in examples, like my family lives an hour away from me. And it's like, if I got on my car without water for an hour, that's going to affect your water intake, right? So it's like, you need to always be prepared. Like there can't be excuses. And I feel like that's the biggest thing.
So in addition to like drinking too fast or whatever, and potentially too much in the beginning, were you able to get down a full premiere in like a day? Obviously not in one sitting, but a day.
Well, with me, like I said, it was around my 6-week mark because that's what my doctor said. But you'll be able to because, again, like I said, I really recommend those little cups because that's what's really going to tell you. But it's going to take you a whole day. And like I said, the way my doctor kind of scheduled it for me was 2 ounces an hour of Premier protein.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was 2 ounces. So I forget how many ounces a Premier is, but basically it was like 2 ounces an hour, plus your regular liquid, right? So your tummy is full the whole, like basically the whole day. Yeah. It's so weird, you know, to say that, but no, seriously. And then they want you to add food, you know? And something I did, and I don't know how they said it in your class, but to this day, I eat every 3 hours. And there's people, like I talk to a lot of people that got surgery and they're like, nope, I just eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? Which can be like 4-hour gaps, 5-hour gaps. But for me personally, once I hit that 3 body, and maybe I've trained my body, once I hit that 3 hours, my stomach is growling. Yes, you will feel hungry. You will later on.
Yeah.
But I notice when I'm really on top of my water, I'll have to, like when my alarm goes off to eat, I'm like, oh, I'm not even hungry, but I still eat. Like even if it's like half a bar or something, I still eat because I've gotten my body into that routine. And I feel like that's what really has helped my metabolism is the 3-hour constant. Like I do like 5 to 6 times a day. So like now I'll do, basically what it looks like is like, I'll do my Premier coffee, cause I do that every day. And then a snack, my lunch, a snack, dinner, and another snack. So some days I do 2 snacks and some I do 3. It just depends how hungry I am.
How is your mobility after? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like you have to walk, but like, were you hurting?
Or I think I'm just a brat, so I was just like being dramatic. So my husband was like, "Get up, like you got," because the gas pains is a real thing. When they tell you it's gas pains, and you're like, "What do I do? Like, give me medicine." They're gonna say, "No, you need to walk." That's really the only thing that helped me was walking, and you don't want to walk. You know, like you're like, no, like let me stay in here. Like I don't feel good. But pain wise, honestly, not really. It's very manageable, and it's like, see, yours is going to be different because you're getting bypass. With me, I had 5 incisions, but there was one specific incision that hurt me. And I asked my doctor, why does this one hurt? And he started laughing and he was like, that's where I pulled your stomach out of. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know? But for you, it's going to be different. So you're not going to get you're not getting your stomach pulled out of you, you know, you're getting rerouted. So it might be different, but that was the only pain that I felt was on that one incision. So yeah,
because I'm thinking about just like when I come home, assuming all goes well after 2 days, and like of course my family, because I don't think anyone's in the family has had weight loss surgery.
I was gonna ask you that.
Oh my gosh, like eat anything, and I'm just like, no, I just want to go home. So like I'm wondering if I'm being too ambitious to think that I'll be fine to take care of myself after the 3 days.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I think I'm telling you, I think with me it was more like I was like just not feeling it. You get what I'm saying? Like I could stand up, I could walk. You can do it. It was just more like leave me alone, you know, type of thing, because I was dealing with my mind, just like I can't eat, I'm sad, I can't, you know what I mean? Like, wow, this little protein is filling me up, like I'm pissed off, I want to eat. You know? I think it's more that than like I couldn't stand up because of pain.
Okay.
I did take pain meds, but very minimal. And he would tell me like, no, you know what? No, I didn't because I would feel sore. And I went back. I remember this because he asked me, he like does a survey and he's like, did you take your pain meds? And I was like, no. He's like, you didn't take anything, Tylenol? I was like, no. Because I don't like the way pain meds make me feel. And I feel like if I'm like dying, I'll take it, but I didn't. When I was back home, I didn't. When I was there, they were giving me pain meds the first day, I think. Yeah. But I only did it if I like really needed to. I don't know. It wasn't that bad. I was just being dramatic.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to be the same way. That's why I keep telling them like, no, I'm good. Like, I just want to be home with my cat. Like,
yeah, no, for me too. I have dogs, so I totally get you.
Yeah.
Like you want to be in the comfort of your own home, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was so mad when they made me stay the second time, because the second time they made me stay for 4 days. And I was like, oh my gosh, because he would come in and check in on me. And he was like, because I was dehydrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then he was like, how much did you drink? And he was looking at my little 2 ounces and it wasn't to his expectation. So he'd be like, okay, see you tomorrow. Like literally he would come in every day at 6 a.m. So he would wake me up, number one. He would like turn the lights on, good morning. And then he's like, how much did you drink? And the nurses would keep my cups there so he could see. And he was like, I'm sorry, like you didn't meet it. I'll come back tomorrow. And I was like, so mad. I remember. And then, like my husband, like on the 3rd day, he's like, are you going to do it? Or are you just going to stay here longer? Like, what are you gonna do, you know? And I was like, cause it's hard. It really is hard, you know? And then I got to go home. But when I was there the first time, it was only, I think it was 2-3 days. I don't remember. I have a whole video on it. I think I have it. Yeah, I think it was 3 days. But usually people say 2 days, 2 to 3 days, they say, depending on the time you got your surgery, you know. Yours is pretty early. So yeah. How's your family about it? If you don't mind me asking.
They have mixed feelings. My mom, obviously this wasn't her first pick, and she's worried about the stuff that I'm gonna have to deal with after, as far as like the loose skin and all that stuff. And I don't know. I was just like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Like, you know, there's nothing I can do about it. My grandparents were kind of like, which is funny because it was the opposite of what I expected. I expected them to be like, no, like you can do it yourself, like, because you know, again, you know, everybody thinks it's the easy way. So I expected them to be like, no, like you're gonna put the work in, blah blah blah. And they were just like, it's time.
Exactly, yeah.
They're like, we've been at this pretty much your whole life. I agree with this decision.
Well, that's good that they're supportive, because there's so many people that are not, you know. And I understand, like, I think it's more fear and like the unknown, you know what I mean, of people. So that's good. I'm happy, because it's hard when people aren't on the same page as you, you know. I was really blessed, and a lot of people, like everyone in my family, was very supportive of it. But I have talked to people that completely have lost friendships and, you know, things over it. So especially because you do change, not like, oh, you change, but it's more like, you know, like with me and my sister, we used to, let's go eat. I want some carne asada fries. Let's go eat. Let's go, you know. And it's different now. Now it's like, let's go get our nails done, or like, I mean, other bad things. Let's go get our nails done. Let's go shopping. Like, it's just different now, you know. It's not food, which was always.
Right.
Like, let's go eat, you know, all the time. So it's just different. And then some people don't like it, and they're like, oh, you changed. Why? Because I don't go grub with you, you know?
Right.
So, exactly. It's just, it's crazy.
I'm not looking forward to that. As far as like the social aspect of it, like navigating that, because of course you can't control how other people react to you and what you decide to do with your life. But I'm
Is your family big on holidays?
Yes, that's another thing that's going to be interesting, and I'm getting it right before the holiday season. So and that's going to be like right in the beginning, I think, because they projected that I should like be on solids at that point, like by Thanksgiving.
And that was me too. I mean, I got it in August. Mine was August 1st. So by the time that like Thanksgiving came around, I mean, I was still very limited to food. It was hard, but it was not as bad. I think, like, I thought it was gonna be so horrible and stuff, but it wasn't. I think it's just preparing yourself, you know. People are gonna say stupid comments, or they're gonna, I don't know. It's just what it is. And sometimes people are like not trying to hurt your feelings. Some people think they're saying like the right thing, but you just gotta accept it and roll with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I was in the beginning, I wasn't even going to be so open about it. But, as I thought about it with my other situation as to
Yeah,
why I'm here, I think it would benefit that group of people as well
yeah,
that may
for
be
sure.
going through that and don't know how to navigate that situation. So that's kind of why I'm like, you know, basically, the same message I feel like you say, like, don't think any less of yourself for making this decision and doing
Yeah,
what's best for you. So that's just kind of like for the people that want to know why I did it, like I'm more than happy to have that conversation. But for the people that want to judge and don't even care to ask the backstory,
yeah.
I just have to get comfortable with letting those people be over there and not,
And at the
give
end
my
of the day,
energy.
you're doing it for you. Like, that's what it is. Like, people ask me all the time, like, what do I do? My mom doesn't want me to do it, or my husband, or whatever. And I'm like, at the end of the day, it's for you. And like I say in so many of my videos, it's like, in order to really be like a good friend, or like a daughter, or an aunt, or a sister, or whatever, you know, in every relationship, I feel like you have to really love yourself to be that best version of you get what I'm saying? Like, it's, you have to, because it's hard. And my relationships have changed, but a lot of them for the better, you know. um
Right.
so it's just, at the end of the day, you have to remember that you're doing it for you and not for other people, because people are going to say things. People are going to look at you a certain way, or, you know, or when you say I lost 100 and whatever pounds, and then they're like, how? Oh, you got that? Oh, that's why. Like,
Yeah. And
okay.
completely discredit everything along the way.
It's like, yeah, I did that, but like I couldn't eat, you know, all these things during the whole time. It's a tool. That's really what it is. And that's what my doctor would always say. Like, it's a tool, and it's either you're gonna make it work or not.
Yeah.
I can do the surgery, but then you can, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you won't be able to eat a hamburger right away, but like I'm telling you, probably like 6 months post-op, if I really wanted to, I could have started that. And right now, 100% I can. 100%.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
especially because I don't experience dumping syndrome. Like you said the other day, that person you were watching on YouTube, how she was like, she wanted to experience dumping syndrome. It's such a stupid thing to say, I think, but I understand it, because there was, when I first had hot Cheetos, when I first had pizza, when I first had things like that, I
Mhm.
was like, please make me sick, please make me sick. And I did it, and it didn't. And I was like, oh crap, like this is gonna be more mental, where I have to tell myself, you can't eat this, you know, not, you can't eat it at all, but you can't eat
Yeah.
it every day like I used to, you know. So I feel like now, it's a little harder for me, because now I'm at like maintaining, and I think it's been harder for me to maintain than lose weight, because it was motivating. I'd get on the scale every week and see 5 pounds, 4 pounds, 3 pounds, 2 pounds lost. And now I get on the scale and it's the same, which I'm
Yeah.
content with, but now there's no movement. So now it's like,
Right.
what I mean? It's a totally different ballgame now.
Yeah. I'm having like an internal battle with that currently. Cause like what you just said, like how you wish that you got dumping syndrome, like that's my mentality of why I'm telling myself not to try things just in case
Yeah,
that I don't get it.
that was me forever.
Right. But then on the other side of me, I'm like, I don't want to be like, I'm thinking about the social aspect, like you said, like pre-op, everything social surrounds around food. Oh, girl, let's go out for drinks. Let's go out to eat. Let's do this. Let's do that. And it's just like, I want to still be able to hang out with my friends without compromising my journey and also without compromising those relationships. Cause I also don't always want to be the sick friend that like,
Yeah,
is
I mean,
dealing with
honestly,
something.
what I think is like, if your friends love you, they're gonna understand, number one. And number two, in the first couple of months, I feel like, for me personally, it might be different for you, but I feel like you kind of have to pull back in the beginning, just to like get yourself in that right mental state, but that's not forever. I'm saying like the first couple of months, because now I avoided restaurants and stuff in the beginning. And then later I was like, okay, I can't avoid restaurants, right? I would share with someone. I would, whatever it was. I found ways of doing that because I didn't want that also, but you're still I get comments where like, you didn't like your food? No, I did. And like, I'm not going to tell the server my whole story. Sometimes I have if they're nosy, but like, it's more like sharing with someone. You're going to find different things. Ordering off, like you can order off the kids menu on certain places if they let you, just different things like that. And it is hard, but you're going to find ways of doing it because like I did, but I totally get what you mean because everything revolves around it. Everything. It's pretty depressing, honestly. Like everything, a funeral, a wedding, a birthday,
literally everything.
You have a good day at work, you have a bad day at work. It's food.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy, and a lot of people struggle from it. And that's why like I love talking to people because sometimes I feel like I'm the only person in the world that's like, forget this, I'm done, And then someone or I see someone post like the same thing and I'm like, oh, dang, I'm not the only one, And I love that this community is so open like that. Well, who wants to be open? It helps everyone. Yeah.
I really appreciated like looking at everyone, like obviously you on YouTube, and there's a couple other favorites I have. Amber was actually one of them, so I was really excited when I saw you talk to her. And then I also started looking around the hashtags on Instagram and stuff.
That was me always like hashtag every day. Like when I was in bed for those 2 months, I was like hashtag and like following 1 million people because that's what gets you. You're looking at people that are 6 months post-op, a year post-op, right? And you're saying like, okay, that's going to be me in 6 months. That's going to be me in a year. That's what got me those months, to be completely with you. Exactly. Yeah. It's watching, just getting motivated, I was going to say something and I forgot.
I'm sorry.
No. My sister-in-law calls me Dory Brain. Okay. Like,
oh.
I'm like, whatever. No, but what was I saying? No, yeah, it's an exciting thing, and I'm so excited for you. And like tomorrow is the start of it.
It's crazy.
Like, oh, I don't know how to feel. I remember the night before, I was just like, are they making you, did they make you do a pre-op, like 2 weeks, 1 week, a day? Mine was only a day.
Oh, actually, no. The only thing like requirement I have to do is drink half of a like large size Gatorade tonight, and then the other half in the morning, and that's it. But as far as like the liquid diet, no, I didn't have to do anything.
I only have to do 1 day of a liquid diet the day before. They were like, whatever. But everyone's different. I see people that are like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh God. I can't imagine doing 2 weeks on a liquid diet with your normal tummy.
Exactly. Every time I see someone say that, I'm like, oh, could it be me?
Yeah, mine was a day, and I was like, it was hard, but not really, because I was nervous anyway. So I was just kind of like, whatever. But man, that's so exciting. I'm so excited for you, and I'm so excited to see like, and I always like when I have people on here, I'm like, I want to have you like in 6 months. I had one other person that was pre-op, and what is she now? How many months is she? I think she's like 2 months.
I think I watched that one too. I don't remember her name.
So, or even like people that are like, I'm like, I want to have you guys like at 1 year and whatever, because it's so crazy to see yourself, like I'm so excited that you're starting on YouTube and stuff right now, because you're going to really see the difference. Like with me, I started about 6 months post-op, because in the beginning I was kind of like you. I was kind of like, do I share it? Do I not? Do I share it? Do I not? And then I was like, you know what? I am going to, because I'm watching all these people that are motivating me and helping. Like, I want to do that. Like, and it helps you stay on track because you're watching yourself and you know what I mean? All these things. So I remember seeing a video from January, because my first video on YouTube was January 1st, 2020. Like I made that a point to do it. And I see videos and I was already 100 pounds down. And I look at myself and I was like, I was still heavy, and I lost 40 more pounds since then. And it's crazy because I feel like the last 40 pounds, I see more of a difference than the first 100, which is so weird. Because I remember hitting 100 pounds and I was like I couldn't imagine feeling better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do.
I'm excited to see what that is
I'm
like.
so excited. I'm so excited for you. And like, bug me tomorrow. Like, I mean, if you have the energy, text me later on at night, whenever. Like, anything that you need, message me and I'll respond. I always respond because there's been people that I message back in the day that are like, I'm always here. And then like they read it and never respond. And I was like, dude, like I need help. Like I needed help with a simple question or whatever, you know? So I always make
Yeah.
sure to respond because I don't know. I like that connection. And
I appreciate that. And I'll be honest with you, when I first messaged you, I was so surprised when you responded.
yeah, I literally try, and if I don't, it's because like obviously I'm busy at that moment, but then I'll respond like as soon as I can. Because I remember being that, and I remember having 10 million questions, you know, and I think I have them all answered. And then the next day I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I feel like this? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're further out, I feel like it's kind of like, oh, get over it. You'll get over it. But no, it's hard, and it's getting through those days and the months. But I keep saying the word excited because I really am excited for you. And I can't wait to see how you feel like in a month. I'm talking about in a month, I lost 30 pounds the first month. I know.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy. I
Well,
want to be.
I was on liquid. I better have lost 30 pounds.
That's true.
know?
That's true. That's true. My birthday is actually next month too.
Your
So
birthday?
yeah. So I'm interested to see where I'll be at that point as well.
Yeah, my birthday was two weeks before. No, 1 week. My birthday is July 24th, and my surgery was the 1st. So, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanna? I can talk forever, honestly. Like some of my podcasts are like 2 hours. I think I have one that was like 2 hours. Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. But is there anything like you wanna talk about before we like close up? Are you? I know that you're excited but nervous.
Yes. No, as far as anything to talk about, no, I think I covered most of my questions. It's mainly of like how things are gonna feel because I literally have no idea. And like the people that I know that have gotten weight loss surgery got it years and years and years ago, and like
It's different
wouldn't
now.
even know, yeah, like what to say on anything. So I think I'm good. I do want to just say, like, on a personal note, whether you include this is up to you,
Yeah.
but I do want to say I really do appreciate you answering me both the first time and earlier this week, because I was a wreck that day as far as trying to decide between the two, just because
No, yeah.
again the situation, and it's just so sensitive, and you know my surgeon really stressed me like that I have to get it right the first time.
Yeah.
So I was like
Of
freaking out,
course.
but
No, yeah, and I'm serious when I tell you like reach out. Even if you think it's like the dumbest question, reach out because I remember having I thought they were dumb questions, but they're serious questions. Like when I would see people drink out of a straw, I'm like, wait, why are you? Because I didn't drink out of a straw till like 7 months, you know. And then there's people that I saw that did it at 1 month. So like any question that you have, small, big, whatever, reach out because I know how it feels. And I'm telling you straight up and I'm being real with you. It's not easy. This journey is not easy, but it's worth it. And there's going to be days that you mess up, but it's waking up the next day and doing it. And I feel like I felt so much before because, and I say this all the time, right? You mess up on Saturday and you're like, I'll start on Monday. And then you mess up on Monday, I'll start next Monday. And then 10 years pass.
right,
Legit 10 years passed.
right.
I remember
That's
that
legit
night.
how I got here.
Exactly, you know, and things
Yeah.
happen like us being on quarantine, like, you know what I mean? And it's really finding you have to tell yourself that there's no more excuses. Like, I totally understand in your situation, but like with me, when quarantine started and stuff, I was like, Paulina, I think I was 8 months post-op, 9 months post-op, something like that when it all started. And I did not let that be an excuse for me because I keep hearing and seeing my doctor right here in front of my face telling me, this is your one-time chance. He told me, I remember before surgery, he said, regardless of what happens in this year, and he's so like harsh, regardless of what happens in this year, if there was like a family death or something like that, it cannot be the reason why you throw it in because you wasted the year. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, I'm just being completely real with you because things are going to happen, right? I switched jobs. the virus happened. There's a lot of things that happened this year that before would have sent me in a spiral, but it didn't. I didn't let that happen because I knew that I couldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just like a very real person. So when you message me and you're like, I want to eat a burger, I'm like, okay, cool, but you can't. Like, you know, I'm sorry. You know? Yeah, but there's solutions to those things is what I'm saying. And it's not like a black wall where you're just like, nope, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's figuring out what you're going to do to get over that little hump at that time. And that could simply be like, I can't get my liquids in. What do I do? Right? It sounds dumb and it sounds so small, but no, that is like the goal in the beginning. Like what, you know, I know you're thinking like we were talking about like maintenance. How am I going to maintain weight? Like, don't even think about that because that's what I'm thinking about now. And it overwhelms me in this point, you know what I mean? So like your biggest thing in the beginning is going to be your liquids, is going to be your vitamins, it's going to be that. And that's what you need to focus on. But I'm excited for you and it's tomorrow. And I know that you've been waiting for this date. So,
yeah. I'm also ready just to see how everything goes. And
is it hitting you now? Because you said when we first started talking that it wasn't hitting you. Is it still not hitting you until you get in the car or until you show up in there?
I think when I like pull up to the hospital is when the nerves are going to hit. Right now, I'm just like, you know, taking in this conversation and like, it's real that I'm having this conversation with you and not just like watching on YouTube. So it's like, girl, that's you.
Yeah.
Like, this is about to be your story unfolding right now.
Yes. And really record and stay up with your YouTube and stuff because it's going to help someone. Like you said, your specific story, it's not going to be 100% someone else's story, but you know what I mean? You have such a unique story and you need to share it. And someone's going to be like, oh my gosh, you helped me. Like, I remember when I first did it, I was like, dumb, who's going to listen to me? And I get messages all the time, like, you have no idea. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, even helping one person, I feel like is enough, you know?
Yeah.
I'm excited for you, and you gotta message me as soon as you feel okay. You need to text me and be like, "I'm good. I'm good." I don't want to say I'm alive. I said I'm good. I don't like to use those words. It like freaks me out. But all right. So what time is it over there?
10:50.
You need it's 7:50 over here, and I feel like it's midnight. But rest. I don't know. What do you do what do you do for self-care? Like, what do you like to do? Take a bath, read? I don't know. Everyone does different things. I like to color. I'm always like, I have like I'm telling you, like the adult coloring book, and like I spend $1 million on markers. What do you like to do?
I still have stuff to do tonight, like as far as the last minute packing.
You didn't pack? I'm like, you need to pack?
So yeah, I'm gonna pack, do my shower, drink my half a Gatorade, and then I'll probably end up, honestly, guilty pleasure, I've been on TikTok.
There you go. Whatever it is that helps you, do that. And so all right. Well, I'll talk to you soon. Message me, like I said, as soon as you feel good, to let me know that everything went good. And I'm excited for you and I'm thinking about you. You got this.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, Kay. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.